The University of Kwazulu-Natal has suspended registration processes after violent protests erupted at its Howard College campus. Students went on the rampage, setting a building on fire, apparently in protest against historical student debt. Police are now monitoring the situation. Tuba Vilane is there. He joins us live. Tuba, first let's go through the concerns raised by these students.
Yes, good afternoon, Shahan. There are two main issues that are raised by the students. One being the issue of historical debts that talks about the debts or the students that are owing the universities. So the students are demanding that the university should allow those students to be able to be registered and continue while they are settling their debt on the side. And then the second issue is the issue of residence. That has been the issue that has been going on for years at UKZ, and we know there's been a number of protests in the past years where students are demanding that all students, or the majority of students that are registered by the university, should be provided for accommodation. But the university is not able to do that. But we spoke to the SRC President Fiso Smelane, and this is what he had to say.
A serious problem in the institution. The elephant in the room in the main is the financial clearance that we are trying to secure for students who have a historical debt, and also students who were funded by NSFAS previously. Because if I'm funded by NSFAS during my undergraduate and now I'm supposed to do my postgrad for my masters and honors, where am I expected to get that money now? What has changed in terms of my financial situation? Why can't the institution or the government fund me now to pursue postgrad as per what the government of the ANC has always preached, that they need more students who are doing postgrads and so forth up until the PhD level. So we are fighting that struggle, and the elephant in the room now in UKZ is that we have a situation by the university is declaring that students must pay registration fee and 15%. Now, if I'm owing 78,000, it means that I must pay the 2,750 and also pay 15% of what I'm owing, of which students find it hard.
So what's the university's management actually saying about all this?
Shahan, you'll understand that around 2 in the morning, the security control building at Westville campus was burnt down. And again, around in the early hours of this morning at Howard College, there was a student car that was burnt down, allegedly by protesting students. But the management, the university management, is saying that they are trying by all means to engage with the students so that they will come up with an amicable solution to their problems. And they say they have come up with a payment plan so that students will be accommodated. But let's listen to Ashton Godric explain.
There are various categories, and the way the historic debt plays out, it's very difficult to just say it's all the students. And what we have done at the university is really set down more or less the bare minimum criteria to assist students so that they can register. How unfortunately that there is a portion of historic debt that students must pay. For example, at our lowest category, 15% of historic debt must be paid, capped at 15,000 rand. And that's where we're starting to have the issues. But like I said, we are still in talks, and we will continue with seeing how we can manage this.
So Tuba, of course, we've seen some protesters damaging buildings. Have there been any arrests?
Yes, and in fact, Shahan, this started early in the week. It started on Monday. We understand that a total of around 18 students have so far been arrested. But some of those students were released yesterday. They were released by the Durban Magistrate Court. But based on after today's protest, 4 students have been arrested. We understand that they are currently at the police station, at Umbilo police station, where they are negotiating. When we met them, they were still waiting for their lawyer so that they will negotiate the bail. But those students were arrested for public violence. As we mentioned that there was a student car that was torched. There was also a security control building that was torched at the Westville campus.
All right, we're going to leave it right there. Tuba Vilane